Good evening, everybody. Oh, uh, let's get back out of that. There we go. Sorry about that. Uh, yeah. Ho- Hope everybody is having a good evening. Unfortunately, well, as soon as I can get this back to how it should be, I'll explain some things. Like, there we go. Half of Ukraine being under air alert, starting with Kyiv City. Been under air alert for 7 hours, 11 minutes. Explosions reported in Kyiv 4 hours, 4 minutes ago, 4 hours, 25 minutes ago, and 7 hours, 3 minutes ago. So, yes, not a great night in Kyiv. Kyiv Oblast, 7 hours, 57 minutes under air alert. 4 hours, 5 minutes ago, explosions reported in Bovary. I'm in the deep state, and Bovary is right here, a suburb of Kyiv City. So might as well be another explosion in Kyiv directly. Chernihiv, only under air alert for the last 40 minutes. Sumy, 8 hours, 59 minutes. Poltava, 1 hour, 22 minutes. Cherkasky for 40 minutes. Kiev-Nograd, also 40 minutes. Dnipro, 39 minutes with different alerts for artillery shelling. Zaporizhia, 41 minutes. Donetsk, 8 hours, 26 minutes. Kharkiv, 9 hours, 6 minutes. 8 hours, 55 minutes ago, explosions reported in Derhachi. And Kharkiv City, 8 hours, 28 minutes. Yeah, it's been a crazy night in Ukraine, unfortunately. Oh, you see Sumy and Poltava just dropping off. Uh, you know, birthday of my friend in Kiev. But before we go into much more of that, let me hop over to Kharkiv, Poltava, Sumy, clear, Izium, drones reported. Dnipropetrovsk, air alert. So come back to the beginning of the air alerts. And more drones. Explosion in Kiev. More drones, more drones. Bovary, Kiev district, Kiev city, drones. More drones, more drones, and more drones. Uh, yeah, these. So for hours and hours, nothing but drones launched by Russia. I have not seen a total as of yet. Massive attack with strike UAVs and ballistic missiles on Kiev and the region on the night. Well, tonight. Impact and falling debris into residential infrastructure. 6 victims known, 2 of them in the Dnipro district, 4 more in Solomansky district. Fires were recorded in Shevchensky, Świętoszczyński, Dniprovsky, Oblonsky districts. Debris hit residential buildings, particularly in the Solomiansky district. Buildings and cars were damaged. Move this out of the way and show you on Deep State. This district right here is the Solomiansky district. This is the area I want to be in. So yeah, basically hitting my home in Kyiv. And yeah. So yeah, not the greatest day, and unfortunately not the greatest birthday that my friend had in Kyiv. Don't know what else to tell you. Chernihiv, Sumy, Kharkiv, Poltava have gone off air alert. So it's just Donetsk, Dnipro, Kivnograd, Cherkasky, and Cherkasky is dropping. So now just Kyiv Oblast, Kyiv City is clear of air alerts. Let's see, Rick, without giving away his area, yeah, his district is not listed in the list of damages here. So I think Rick is okay. He may be without power because of the strikes. But yeah, his district is not listed on the damage report, thankfully. Unfortunately, my friend's district is. So I haven't heard from him since he said, you know, thank you for wishing him happy birthday. So again, just the air raids clearing. So thankfully, most of this seems to be over, down to just Donetsk, Dnipro, Kivnograd. I was out for dinner with some friends. Had a nice prime rib dinner. Oh, I should show you guys that photo. Oh, I'm stuffed, but you know, first world problems when everything else is going on. Moving right along and getting down to business. Let's go to the operational information as of 8 a.m. 5/23, May 23rd, regarding the Russian invasion. As always, it starts with glory to Ukraine. The 1,185th day of the large-scale armed aggression of the Russian Federation against Ukraine has begun. Remember, Russia started this war. Russia's the one that wants to keep it going. Russia is the problem here, not Ukraine. Ukrainian defenders are steadfastly holding back the onslaught of the occupiers, inflicting significant losses on the enemy. In total, 141 combat clashes were recorded over the past 24 hours. This is last night, according to updated information. The enemy launched 2 missile strikes and 56 airstrikes using 4 missiles and dropping 130 guided aerial bombs. In addition, Russia carried out 5,879 artillery strikes, with 164 of those being from multiple launch rocket systems. They also used about 3,000 kamikaze drones to cause destruction. The aggressor carried out airstrikes, in particular in the areas of the settlements of Veliki Prikil in Sumy, Mykolavka in Chernihiv, Rublino and Milov in Kharkiv, Pokrovsk, Stepanivka, Novotroitsky, Navtivka. Getting that G sound before the N is really hard. Gnevkivka, Kumar, Novoukrayinka in Donetsk, Novodorivka, Guliopol, Vysoke, Khmelnytsky, Novodanlivka, and Stepnohorsk in Zaporizhia. Oh, can I come over, Nora? Oh yeah, there's trout in Venetia. Oh, some of the best fishing in the rivers is over here in Venetia. Venetia is kind of an odd region. It doesn't have the industrial base of like the East, or the West. The influence from the rest of Europe is kind of in between and has been left alone for like large development, large factories. So it's a very ecological area, and by many considered the most beautiful region in Ukraine. I have a hard time picking the most beautiful because everywhere you go, it has its own beauty to it. Um, the Ukrainian to U.S. acres is a mistranslation. In Ukrainian, the acres doesn't mean acres. The word is sotek, kind of like sto 100. It's 100 square meters. So 25 sotek is 2,500 square meters. It's about 4,000 square meters to 1 U.S. acre. Over the past 24 hours, the Defense Forces aviation, that's again mistranslation. Defense Forces of Ukraine's aviation, missile forces, and artillery units have struck 14 areas of concentration of Russian personnel, weapons, and equipment. They also hit 11 artillery pieces, 4 command posts, and 1 enemy ammunition storage depot. Going into the individual directions and heading over to Kharkiv, I had a bit of a scare this morning. I was reading a report from Pokrovsk, and I mistook the town in Pokrovsk for this town, and immediately jumped to conclusions and bugged people, and wrong location. But anyways, in the Kharkiv direction, the enemy tried 8 times to break through the defense lines of our defenders in the areas of Voschansk, towards Mala Shapkivka, not Velika Shapkivka, and towards Dovhenki. Dovhenki right here. Sorry. I was looking at this one saying, no, that's not right. Okay. Oh, heading to the south to Kupiansk direction, where 6 attacks by the invaders took place. Yesterday, our defenders repelled the enemy assault actions in the areas of Petropavlivka, and part of the map is not loading in. Kolishnikivka. It's close. It's not 100% right. I wish I could do better. Thankfully, Greg isn't here today to point and laugh at my mispronunciations. In Kindrushkivka, which I'm getting confused. The spelling's not right, completely right on here, so I'm not sure if, okay, yes. Kindrushkivka, Nova Kruglivka, and towards Pishkani. Whether they mean this Pishkani or this one, I'm unsure, but more likely this one or between the two. Anyways, moving to the south to Liman direction. The enemy attacked, ouch, I just bit my tongue. The enemy attacked 12 times and tried to penetrate our defenses in the areas of Grivka, zoom in, Grivka, Novemir, Torsky, Lipova, that's up here. Lipova, right next to Nove. And where was I at? And in Ridkobub. I know I'm not saying that right. Someone's going to correct me one day, and I hope they do soon. But that is all for the Lehman direction, heading to the south to Servisk. The enemy made 3 attempts to advance near Girogorivka. Viviamika, depending on which spelling you go by, this one or that one. And of course, Bila Gorivka. Heading to the west to Kramatorsk, Slovansk, Konstantinivka, and of course, Chasiv Yar. The occupiers attacked 4 times in the Kramatorsk direction towards Chasiv Yar and Bila Gora. In the Tourette's direction, directly to the south, the enemy made 9 attempts to break through near Romanivka. Okay, where did Romanivka go? You're not telling me it's not on the map. Romanivka is in this area. I'm just not sure because it's not labeled on this. Romanivka. Yes, it is labeled on this map. I just didn't go west enough. Sorry about that. in Romanivka, Toretsk itself, Dashny, and in Divlivka. And the most active front currently, and for the last year and a half or so, Pokrovsk, where our defenders stopped 44 assault actions of the aggressor in the settlements of Novopoltavka, Elizavetivka, Lysivka, Malinivka, Zirozovo, Koltanyarka, Dashenki, I have to zoom in, Dashenki right here, Udachny, Troitsky, Andriivka, as well as in the settlements of Oleksivka, jumping way back up here, Promin, and Shevchenko-Pershi. Shevchenko-Pershi is one of those odd ones that I have not been able to nail down the location of. Of course, there's several Shevchenkos in this direction, but it's a matter of which Shevchenko is Shevchenko-Pershi. I do not know, and I wish I could find out more information for you and give you that location. But there is a Shevchenko here. There's a Shevchenko down this way. Shevchenko this one, and then there's a Shevchenko over here and another one over here. So take your pick which one is Shevchenko-Pershi. And last but not least, Miro-Lubivka. Heading over to the Novopavlivska direction. The enemy made 14 attempts to attack during the past day near Constantinople, Volhyny Pole, and in the side of Shevchenko and Novopil. Heading over to Guliopol, or Guliopil, depending on who you ask. The defense forces successfully stopped one attempt by the invaders to advance near the town of Vysoky. And we zoom in this town right here. Heading over to Orhiv from Guliopol. In the Orhiv direction, occupation troops twice advanced on the position of our defenders in the direction of Novodanlivka. The enemy did not conduct active offensive operations in the Dniprovsky direction over here by Kherson. No signs of the formation of enemy offensive groups in the Volyn or Polizia directions. The defense forces of Ukraine continue the operation in the Kursk direction. And as you can see, fighting is in Kursk as well as the Sumy district. Over the past day, the enemy carried out 16 airstrikes in Kursk, dropping 23 guided aerial bombs, and carried out 230 artillery strikes, 7 of which were from MLRSs. Ukrainian forces stopped 21 assault actions of the Russians. Our soldiers continue to inflict significant losses on the occupation forces, both in manpower and equipment, and are actively undermining the enemy's offensive potential in the rear. Goes into the losses for the day. We'll cover that with the graphic here shortly. And we close the report with join the Defense Forces. Razom Pereможemo. Slava Ukraina. Let me go grab the losses for today. And I'll leave that up for just a minute. And you guys have been chatting up a storm, so I need to do a lot of catch up. Nura, Steve Sane, Linda H, Pyro Kurt, Haji, Mexi Girl. Leave that, can't he? Leave what? Oh, Mexi Girl had a date tonight. Woohoo. Hey there, Nikki Hill. Yeah, that Air Alert app is a great reminder that, while we're living our life here in the US, that the war is still going on. And, people ask me why my phone dings so much, because I have the air alerts for my town on my phone still. Yeah, talking about the clearing the air alerts. They exist, asking about trout and goats and chicken conversion for ratio for the acreage. Anton, Adam Rounds, Mick Riley, Mick Pigeon. They exist. I like the sound of Venetia. I'd be interested if you find some acreage there. You'll buy the house and I can visit for 6 months out of the year. Deal. Yeah, McPigeon, that's right. 100 Sotek per hectare, and 1 hectare is about 2.5 acres. Uh, 600 yards from your house, you have a trout lake or river. Mm-hmm. Sturgeon. Yeah, you don't like it's the same thing here, Indy Darkstar. There's so much runoff from the farms in the rivers here. You kind of have to put the fish in an aquarium to get that flavor out of it. Um, oh, and my thing just jumped, skipping over a lot of stuff. Uh, Steve Sane says, I find it hilarious that Trump wants America to be respected again. It's become the laughing stock of the world. Yeah, it's become the laughing stock because of Trump. Oh, Sturgeon's making a comeback in the UK. Good to hear. Let's see. Have Trump. I gave Trump your key. uh, so there I am. It's Saturday in Kiev. Yeah, it's well. So just part of Dnipro region, Kivri and Kivnograd under air alert, but it is 5:34 a.m. in Ukraine at the moment. So yeah, 5:35 a.m. Get off selecting. Computers. Before we get into the losses for today, I got another package today, which means I need to go and grab the link for Amazon and put her in chat and pin to the top of chat. Of course, I am still doing collections for taking medical supplies to Ukraine. Looks like the Cat 5 or Cat 7 tourniquets are back to normal price. Actually higher than it was before, $31.68. 1975 for the chest seals. One package contains two. 1995 for the Israeli compression bandages. 1995 for a pack of 3. And bleed stop powder, 1465 for a 4-pack. If you are able to, please go to the link and let me carry your aid to Ukraine over there this September. And of course, if you need to purchase other stuff while I'm in Ukraine or you're outside of the US, feel free to hit me up on PayPal. I forgot the name. I am so sorry. Oh, it's not there. Okay, let me go to PayPal because I know the name's on PayPal. It was in my emails, but apparently my emails purged. James sent $63.99 to my PayPal to purchase chest seals. When we get closer to the date, I will be doing a mass purchase with any of the money sent to my PayPal for those purposes. But for right now, I want to grab OBS, go full cam, and the package I got today for Ukraine, 2 chest seals and 1 Cat 7 tourniquet from Linda H. And that gets into blonde bombshellers. So give you guys a bit of an idea of how much has been given already. That's all the gift receipts right there. And of course, today getting another tourniquet and 2 chest seals from Linda H. Linda H, thank you, and thank you. Ukrainian soldiers that get these I'm sure will want to say thank you as well. Um, that puts us up to 7 chest seals, 4 or no, 7 tourniquets, 4 chest seals, um, 7 boxes of bleed stop, and 6 packages of Israeli compression tourniquets or bandages. That is amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you guys. And that is not counting the donations to PayPal for other items yet. So I am looking forward to having to get a bigger suitcase to go to Ukraine. With that, let's go back to the air alert map, and one set of drones still floating around Kiev-Novgorod Oblast. And we get into the total losses of the Russian Federation as of May 23rd, 1185th day. Today, or yesterday, I should say, Russia lost 1,050 personnel, bringing the total up to 978,700. 21,300 away from 1 million casualties that Russia has suffered since they invaded Ukraine. 2 additional tanks, 1 additional armored personnel vehicle, 43 artillery systems, 2 MLRSs, 148 UAVs, and getting close to the 50K milestone on vehicles, with an additional 139 vehicles blown up yesterday. Keep up the good work and keep attriting Russia, and Ukraine will win. Going from there to back to Telegram. Let's get on my main page. And Zelensky giving out awards. Today we congratulate one of our most effective combat forces, our Marines, on their professional day. I know Ukrainian Marines don't have the saying, but I'll say it anyways. Semper Fi, my brothers. And the big, important news today. We are bringing our people home. The first part of the agreement on the 1,000 for 1,000 exchange has been implemented. This agreement was reached at the meeting in Turkey, and it is important to fully implement it. Today, 390 soldiers returned home. Saturday and Sunday exchanges are expected to continue. Thank you to everyone who helps, who works 24/7 to ensure that Ukrainians return home. It is very important to return everyone who is in captivity. We are checking every name, information on every person. Let us continue our diplomatic work to make such steps possible. And come over to the right screen. So those are the guys that came home today. Yeah, I'd love to be on one of those buses and just hear those guys talk. Uh, that is the first pictures of the guys getting home today. And of course, more videos and pictures coming out throughout the day.
Вітаємо вдома, хлопці!
Слава Україні!
Героям слава!
Слава Україні! Слава Україні! Слава Україні! Слава Україні! Слава Україні!
I can only imagine what these guys are feeling getting out of Russia, getting home.
3 года, брат! Красавчик, сейчас конечно. Сейчас будем искать.
That dude was almost in tears.
Льоша!
Не то, що їсти воду видавали,
Юра! Юра!
And of course, the calls home to the families.
Братан, я на Украине.
Мам, меня обменяли, все, я дома. Я живой, со мной все хорошо, мам.
Так що їдемо в госпіталь, там далі їх подивляться, передінуть, накормлять і дадуть телефон.
Все, успокойся, все хорошо.
I'll talk after.
Слава Україні! Героям слава! Україна! Понад усе! Україна! Понад усе!
You don't hear about the children being released as much. For one, because they are minors. And well, you should be asking permission of the parents to film minors. And for a lot of those children that are getting returned, they don't get to see their family until they're back in Ukraine, and it's kind of hard. I'm going to stay on the good side of this news with 390 heroes returning home. I know that there's that side of it. You know they exist. I'm going to ignore that for now and stay focused on the 390 today and the others coming home Saturday and Sunday. And finally, Zelensky's speech for today. I shouldn't say speech because this really isn't a speech. It's just him addressing the people.
Бажаю здоров'я, дорогі українці. Сьогоднішній день, головне, відбувся обмін. І це перший етап найбільшого обміну, про який домовились в Туреччині. Фактично єдиний значимий результат зустрічі в Туреччині. Все інше росіяни блокують. Поки що блокують. Але повернення наших людей – це саме те, заради чого ми завжди працюємо. Обов'язково повернемо всіх. Кожен наш громадянин, кожен український військовий і цивільний, всі українські заручники, яких утримують в Росії, ми всіх їх маємо визволити. Сьогодні вдома майже 400 людей, 390 – це військові та цивільні. Завтра і післязавтра теж наступні етапи. Формула 1000 на 1000. Я вдячний всім і всій нашій команді, яка залучена до реалізації обміну. І обов'язково дякую всім нашим воїнам на фронті, які забезпечують поповнення для України, саме обмінного фонду. Також хочу подякувати сьогодні нашим правоохоронцям за те, що додають в обмінний фонд російських диверсантів та колаборантів. Важливо, що Україна повертає своїх. Дякую всім в світі, хто нам допомагає. І так само, як вдається, це повинно вдаватися і все інше. Потрібне припинення вогню. Потрібні дипломатичні кроки до реального миру. Потрібна нова і дієва архітектура безпеки. Об'єднуємо партнерів заради цього. І точно час тиснути на Росію більше, щоб результат був не один, а все те, що потрібно. І коли у росіян вже тиждень пішов на формулювання так званого меморандуму, який вони хочуть, щоб відповісти на потребу припинити вогонь, це точно знущання з усього світу. Стільки часу, кожен день на війні – це втрата життів. Звісно, в Росії людей не рахують, але світ повинен рахувати. Нові санкції проти Росії потрібні. Я дякую кожному і кожній, хто це адвокатує і підтримує. Ще кілька речей. Відзначив сьогодні державними нагородами морських піхотинців у їхній професійний день. Кожна бригада морської піхоти – це гордість. І це дійсно заслужено. Була доповідь сьогодні міністра закордонних справ України Андрія Сибіги щодо завдань для нього. Перше. Забезпечити додаткове фінансування для виробництва артилерії, снарядів. Результат є, 2/3 коштів вже забезпечені. Друге. Додаткове фінансування коштів на виробництво дронів в Україні. Кошти будуть. Третє. Ми готуємось до участі України в форматі групи 7. Дякуємо МЗС за роботу. Також сьогодні говорив з прем'єр-міністром Хорватії Пленковичем, справжній друг України та всіх, хто хоче сильної та безпечної Європи. Ми обговорили в цілому ситуацію на фронті, ситуацію в дипломатії. Ми обговорили також підготовку саміту Україна Південно-Східна Європа. Я вдячний, що пан прем'єр-міністр Хорватії готовий бути на саміті. Сьогодні також була доповідь. Ми готуємо нові санкційні пакети, сильні санкційні пакети. Я дякую всім, хто з нами, хто з Україною, хто з українцями. Слава Україні!
Героям слава. And of course, thanking everyone who stands with Ukraine and Ukrainians. That's you guys. Thank you so much for supporting Ukraine. He appreciates it. I appreciate it. And millions of others appreciate it as well. I did not get time to go through the videos today because, well, I was busy eating roast beef. Prime rib, I should say. Oh, my belly's still aching a little bit from that. So you get to go through them with me as we go through day. Poltava, in the Kremenchuk community, a building of one of the enterprises was destroyed as a direct hit by a drone. So here are the pictures from Kremachuk. And here we are at 9 o'clock in the morning, Ukraine time, 1 a.m. for me. The report for the day that we went through. Boom, hello package Russia. Okay, I wish there was more context, but let's see what this video is. You know, I'm starting to think these Ukrainian drone operators could thread a needle with an FPV drone at this point. Dude getting arrested. Don't need to watch that. Yeah, don't need to hear about that. Trump. Trying to steal any glory that he can. A major prisoner swap was just completed between Russia and Ukraine. It will go into effect shortly. Congratulations to both sides on this negotiation. This could lead to something big. I'm surprised he didn't say this wouldn't have happened if Biden was president. And of course, not completed yet, even though Trump is saying it was. No, not completed yet, but we saw that it did. And here are the drones from last night. 175 UAVs launched, 150 destroyed, 1 ballistic missile, 0 destroyed. Sumy, Dnipro, Donetsk, Kharkiv, Kiev, Zhytomyr, Odessa, Chernivtsi, and Ivano-Frankish regions suffered damage. One of the shops of the Energia plant burned down as a result of nighttime UAV attack in Yelets in Russia. The number of injured employees of the enterprise has increased to 9. If it had video, that'd be good, but no. MI8 crashed in Oral region. Crew died. Detonation of ammunition is taking place. So, scratch 1 Russian helicopter today.
Дымище и взрывы какие-то.
Well, smoke in the background from the crash. Hopefully we'll get some better video of that going forward. The European Union apparently was primarily formed to take advantage of the United States in trade. Yeah, keep telling yourself that, Trump. Apple will start having to pay a tariff of 25% unless it produces iPhones in the US. Again, on the 1,000 for 1,000. Missile danger throughout Ukraine. MiG takeoffs. We all know how that turned out. Ukraine has developed its own Shahed-like drone, Batyar, over 800-kilometer range, 18-kilogram warhead. Multi-purpose decoy bomber or kamikaze. So yeah, there's Ukraine's one of Ukraine's drones. And of course, the pictures from the 390 Ukrainians that returned home today.
Слава Україні! Героям слава! Україна! Понад усе! Україна! Понад усе! Україна! Понад усе!
I'm going to let you watch this one because nature's yelling at me. Let me know what it's about.
Как только станет, сразу ускоряйтесь, выгоняйте всех.
ББМка рухається, ББМка рухається.
А чё вы так, сука, движово-то, блядь, уезжали, нахуй? Чётко было, что сейчас уебе. Опять срезали на подъезд. Поступила задача висунутися на вказаний рубіг та стримати усіми засобами рух кілерів. Що і було зроблено.
Я хочу їсти. Додому хочеться.
Стейк.
А я казав, що буде все хорошо, Кеп, а ви сикавали, блядь. Важко було в кінці, коли їжі води не було і електроенергії. Коли павербанки посідали, генератор навернувся. Оце було саме важке. А так все чітко.
Ці хлопці на навчанні ще мені так придумали, тому що багато чим цікавлюсь. І частенько щось запитують. Вже стільки діб на позиції, вже ти розумієш, або ти, або вони. Все. Як було? Звичайне чергування на СП. Все. Почув, рух, відпрацював. І все. Навіть не було времени і часу навіть щось сказати напарникам, можу так сказати. А іншого просто допоміг нашим добрим ААРам працювання. Нічого не хочу, помитися і як найшвидше, найскоріше потрапити додому. Ну, звісно, щось дружині наберу.
В БМке жарко было так, пиздец, хотелось люки открыть, блядь, еще хуй знает где. Я не знаю.
Всі сюди по одному на огляд. Огляд, всі пройшли. Одного десь. Ні, я ще не підготував.
О, пан Фін, бажаю здоров'я. Я вас і тут знайшла.
Зробили ротацію, завезли одних, вивезли тих, хто там сидів. Ну так трошки піймали кілька мін. Обстріл був, міномети по нам працювали. Але слава Богу, все нормально, виїхали. Ні, це ми натягували, ми хотіли натягнути, коротше, там сітку.
Я стесняюсь, не надо.
Та чого? Мама твоя читає наш канал.
Я
Коменти пише.
знаю.
Хвилювалась за тебе.
Я чув, я знаю.
Вже коли термін переходить більше 1 місяця, ти вже майже втрачаєш половину часу на позиції. Було нелегко, так, але все це можливо зробити. Проте ми робимо те, що мусимо, я б сказав так.
Що вас мотивувало піти на війну?
Чесно кажучи, територіальна цілісність, мабуть, найперше, тому що сьогодні вони забирають дім у когось, завтра вони забирають дім у мене. Передаю привіт всім своїм рідним, близьким, колегам. Перемога буде обов'язково за нами.
Sorry about the delay, but I'm going to kill the camera. Yeah, not being healthy sucks. Yeah, they need to change a lot of stuff in the House and the Senate too. Oh, was it a good video? From Predator Group, I saw that. Zelensky's speech. Galina came on exchange for the first time to find out at least something about her son, about whom she has not had any information for over 2 years.
Це страшна біль, вже стільки часу не знати нічого. Це вже більше 2 років. З лютого 23-го повна невідомість. Мій син служив Державна спеціальна служба транспорту. В них створили 710-та штурмова рота. Пішли на завдання 15 хлопців. Ні про одного ми нічого не знаємо. На обміні перший раз. Можливо, хлопці, які вийдуть, можливо, щось скажуть. Можливо, хтось побачить.
Let's go back up. After a month in the position, you don't count days anymore. Another rotation of the infantry of the Predator Brigade, which holds the lines in Toretsk. In order to withdraw without losses, the commanders waited for the right moment. The sky was covered with rain. Enemy drones were almost not flying. When the M113 was leaving the outskirts of Toretsk, the Russians hit it with a mortar. The armor hit several, so the M113 hit several mines. But despite everything, they got out alive. The guys met by the commanders and medevac of the Predator Brigade. In the first minutes after the front line, it's not about loud words. I just want a steak. I don't want anything. I just want to call my wife. Mom reads our Telegram channel. The main thing is not to worry. All of them patrol police officers. The fighter with the call sign Google has been serving in the Dnipro police station for 9 years. He destroyed the invader in direct combat, and he eliminated another one together with the operators of our drones. Okay, so let's watch that. Well, you guys again, me for the first time.
А чё вы так, сука, движово там, блядь, въезжали, нахуй?
Чуйка была, что сейчас уебе. Опять срезали на подъезде. Поступила задача висунутися на вказаний рубіж та стримати усіми засобами рух кілерів. Що і було зроблено.
No, it doesn't have subtitles. This is straight from the unit without.
Я казав, що буде все хорошо, Кеп, а ви сикавали, блядь. Важко було в кінці,
You need someone better than me at Ukrainian and Russian to do the subtitles, like Greg.
Це було саме важке. А так все чітко.
Це хлопці на навчанні ще мені так придумали, тому що багато чим цікавлюсь. І частенько щось запитую.
But here they're talking about what they want to do now that they're off the line.
Як було?
Get a steak,
Найспе.
call home.
Почув, рух, відпрацював. І все. Навіть не було времени, часу навіть щось сказати напарникам, можу так сказати. А іншого просто допоміг нашим добрим AAR працювати. Нічого не хочу, помитися і як найбистріше, найскоріше потраплю додому. Ну, звісно, що дружині наберу.
В Бэмке жарко было так, пиздец, хотелось люки открыть, блядь, еще хуй знает где.
Всі сюди по одному на огляд. Огляд, всі пройшли. Ну, одного десь. Ні, я ще не підготував.
О, пан Фін, бажаю здоров'я. Я вас і тут знайшла.
Зробили ротацію, завезли одних, вивезли тих, хто там сидів. Ну так трошки піймали кілька мін. Обстріл був, міномети по нам працювали. Але слава Богу, все нормально, виїхали. Ні, це ми натягували, ми хотіли натягнути, коротше, там сітку.
Я стесняюсь, не надо.
Та чого?
I wish I could,
Мама
Drpat.
читає наш канал.
Я
It-
знаю.
They're speaking mostly in Russian, and I only catch like a word or two here in Russian. And of course, like the first words you learn in any language are always the curse words.
Більше одного місяця ти вже майже втрачаєш половину часу на позиції. Було нелегко, так, але все це можливо зробити. Проте ми робимо те, що мусимо, я б сказав так.
And you're there to do a job. You got to do the job.
Чесно кажучи, територіальна цілісність, мабуть, найперше, тому що сьогодні вони забирають дім у когось, завтра вони забирають дім у мене. Передаю привіт всім своїм рідним, близьким, колегам. Перемога буде обов'язково за нами.
Yeah, I'm catching like every third word or so I can't do justice in the translation. I can catch it enough that he was saying something about the Russians. I'll leave it at that. Hopefully, like War Translated or somebody else can pick that video up and do a translation for it. Actually, what I should do is send that to my channel to send over to somebody else later to translate. Industrial zone is on fire in, well, Moscow. Yeah, I'm catching the swear words in the insults, and well, apparently keeping the home fires burning in Moscow. Yeah, and like swearing in Russian doesn't directly translate to American. Like the big thing when Vance and Trump ambushed Zelensky in the White House. Zelensky said "suka." Yes, it does. It does. Well, it doesn't mean bitch. It's more like saying son of a bitch. So he wasn't calling Vance a bitch. He was saying, "Oh, this is such a bitchy situation," or something like that. It just doesn't translate properly, and anybody that tries to translate it seems to fail at it. Like saying Zelensky called Vance a bitch. Even though he is one, no, Zelensky did not call Vance a bitch. He said basically, oh, Jesus, or oh, son of a. I would love to show you this one, but I already know I can't just because of the title. 3 fresh episodes when the occupiers became the directors of their own finale. Yeah. The Suicide Orcs, you get the meaning. I'll forward this one to the channel as well, and if you're on Telegram, you can go watch it for yourself. Definitely not YouTube friendly, I'll guarantee you that. Yeah, how's that for a last photo? Maybe I'm not reading that right, Anton, but I don't think I've ever heard Chig. 36 guards, unmanned system battalion of the Marine Corps Brigade sincerely congratulates its brothers and sisters on Marine Corps Day. I have to download that one. Yeah, I haven't actually heard many people say that then. Nakula. I know that's not like saying it 100% correctly, but oh, this is the video with the guys last. Oh, that's loud. Sorry for the headphone users. No, it's the delay on the stream. Unfortunately, YouTube puts a pretty big delay on on the streams. But after this video, I'll give you an example. So I will write end when the video ends for me. And I'll let you guys figure out where it ends for you. Right there, where it went black. Kinburn spit minus the latest Russian electronic warfare. It's more than 3 seconds, Steve. I'll do one better after this video. So here, I'll drag part of chat into the screen and test 1, 2, 3. I'm waiting for it on the other screen. There it is, finally. So it's about 10 seconds, depending on where you're at. Let's see, what's this one? Air defense and assets of the Volgodar tactical group hit the enemy's 5,000th functional high-altitude drone. It's enough of a delay that it's like talking to somebody on the moon. I say something, you guys respond, and it's like 15, 20 seconds later that I'm actually able to reply to your reply. Hero of Ukraine, Lieutenant Colonel. Oh, another one that needs translation, but let's play.
Я командир 1-го батальйону оперативного призначення, 1-ї бригади оперативного призначення Національної гвардії України, підполковник Жданов Володимир Сергійович.
Short but sweet. And of course, the last transmission on this in Kyiv. 8 people have been injured as a result of the enemy attack today. 2 of them are hospitalized. And let's go and do Warriors Ukrainian. Fundraiser answering questions. G7 countries approved a joint statement which in particular emphasizes that frozen Russian assets will remain immobilized until Russia stops its aggression and pays for the damages caused to Ukraine. Russia is waging a war of attrition since the battle for Bakhmut and will continue to do so as long as they have the resources. Stopping the war is only possible by undermining the Russian economy and inflicting significant damage on the army, says Zaluzhny. Congratulations to the Marine Corps, of course, Ukrainian Marine Corps Day. At least 3 hits on the territory of the Russian enterprise Energia in the Lipsky region. They produce batteries and accumulators for drone, aircraft, ships, and various other electronics.
Летит.
Еще один.
Вон он, красный. Ой, ёпт.
Remains of Russian shaheeds are being finished off near Kyiv this morning. Well, yeah, look up on on your morning walk, and there you go. Italy fully supports EU efforts to stop Russian gas imports by 2027. This is the thing that kills me is Ukraine has oil, has gas, had so many different other resources, and EU could bring Ukraine into the EU and have an internal source for gas, oil, and other raw resources. EU needs to get off their ass and get Ukraine in and get their resources and energy from Ukraine rather than Russia. Yes, Steve, I am 6'3". Merz, German Chancellor, backs the ban on Nord Stream. The Russian Energia plant after the good drones work. Some of them I can, Steve. Some of them, like, you put the chair all the way back and like I can barely get into them. Other ones, my knees are in the dash. Or you have to put the chair all the way forward and I sit in the back seat. Romania's president-elect Niscordan pledged continued support for Ukraine, emphasizing Bucharest's commitment to Western alliances. Full version of the attack on the Energia plant in Russia.
Пизда. А вы давно подъехали?
Да, вот минут 15 стоим, 20.
Ребята, нам просто видос скинули в группу, что, блядь, все это разъебывают. А мы
Не, мы
ехали.
подъехали.
ПВО же работало.
Не работает.
Работало. Я на заправке был, один раз играл. Не-не-не, я на заправке был, ПВО прям бах.
Понял, летел, искра и все, потом. Один раз.
Ну все равно он уебал. Ба. Вообще пизда.
Она кто трогала его не надо было трогать. И близко не надо было подходить.
Мы сейчас вот стояли, блядь, я говорю, остановись нахуй, поснимай его, блядь, возле 6-го цеха.
О, туда
горит.
Летит еще один.
Еще один летит.
Сейчас
Туши, ёпты! Свет туши!
Here, the drone's coming in.
Туши свет!
That was pretty close. Now let me do this on a different page. What do you consider way back? So you want to know my ancestry? Steve Shane. This is my family's book. My mom's name is on page 92. And this goes back to the 1100s. The book is called The Thomas Brothers of Mattapani, Their Ancestry, the Manor House, Their Descendants. So if you want to check it out, there you go. U.S. not convinced about lower G7 price cap on Russian oil. Yeah, figures Trump doesn't want to hurt his buddy in Moscow. Yeah, I actually have a physical copy of that book. Well, had a physical copy of that book. I gave it to my brother. So he can take care of it and pass it down to my nephew. EU has proposed revising the cap down to a level of $50 a barrel maximum. Ukraine has pushed for an even lower price of $30 a barrel. Russia would be taking a loss at that level, so I like that mark. $50 a barrel would be about $5 profit for Russia per barrel. And you're talking, it's still a monumental amount of money when you're talking 2.5-3 million barrels a day that Russia produces. Dutch Prime Minister said Trump has confirmed that he planned to attend NATO's summit in The Hague. Too bad your brother Putin can't be there because, well, The Hague wants him as a criminal. Fitting that, 37 felony convictions. $150 billion loan program to rearm Europe could be a very important breakthrough in the EU's military support for Ukraine. Member states who take the loans and will use them for joint procurement together with Ukraine and for Ukrainian needs. Nice. Senate Majority Leader John Thune warned Putin that if he does not make a serious proposal for an immediate ceasefire with Ukraine, the Senate will pass new sanctions against Russia. This comes the same week that Marco Rubio warned senators in a hearing that if you start threatening sanctions, the Russians will stop talking. Yeah, fuck Rubio too. Oh, shit. I just zoomed past all of that with one click. So let's keep going, keep going. Oh, where were we at? Where were we at? We went through a lot. We skipped a lot. Holy crow. Yeah, this is what Trump and Putin want to do. They want to split up Ukraine and suck the blood from it. Oh, I screwed up. I've gone way, way too far. Okay, so Kyiv, except this is not an actual picture of Kyiv, is it? Too much of it's blurred out. I can't tell if this is an actual picture, but if it's blurred out like this, I'm guessing actual picture of Kyiv. Debris fell on the upper surface of a residential building in Solomansky district. Hard to tell where that hit took place. Now, even if you do take out the drone, you still have that to deal with. French TV channel BFM managed to film a video story in occupied Mariupol called I Want to Become an FSB Agent. Russification of the young generation is underway in Mariupol.
Dans cette école de Mariupol, un nouveau rituel rythme désormais la traditionnelle cérémonie de fin d'année.
Et maintenant, veuillez rester au garde à vous pour l'hymne national de la Russie.
Depuis la conquête de la ville il y a 3 ans,
start brainwashing them young, Russia.
Les bâtiments qu'elle a bombardés, comme cette école fraîchement restaurée, mais pas seulement. Elle s'applique aussi à recouvrir l'identité ukrainienne de la jeune génération, littéralement.
Toucher le drapeau symbolise notre unité avec la Russie. Nous appartenons à la Russie désormais. C'est notre devoir d'éduquer nos enfants au patriotisme russe et ce, dès la naissance.
Et cette stratégie semble déjà porter ses fruits.
Moi, je veux devenir agent du FSB, les services de sécurité intérieure russes, pour attraper les terroristes.
Les terroristes, comme on appelle ici désormais les résistants ukrainiens. Les plus âgés, eux, se préparent déjà à défendre leur nouvelle patrie.
Bonjour camarades, soldats de réserve.
sous les ordres d'un soldat de retour du front.
Tout le monde est prêt à servir? Si 1% seulement de mes élèves rejoint l'armée,
Yeah.
alors
You want to know why 1941 and 1942 are on the walls of every Russian school? Because that's the last year anything that Russia did anything worthwhile in the world.
Nous serons la meilleure armée du monde. Rien que ça nous suffira. Je suis les ordres du président de la Fédération de Russie.
Une jeunesse qui marche au pas. Le pari de Poutine pour rendre l'annexion irréversible.
Afghans tried to illegally enter Ukraine from Belarus. They were detained. Border guards caught 8 foreigners in the Ravine region. One of them tried to escape. The persons who could have facilitated the illegal crossing are currently being identified. You know, I'd be interested to see what they had with them. Also curious why Afghanistan people are going into Ukraine instead of Europe. Again, videos from Kyiv.
Да ну нахуй, блядь.
Нахуй, блядь. Two Russian military aircraft are suspected of violating Finnish airspace. Polish jets intercepted the aircraft Thursday evening. Interesting. People welcomed Ukrainian heroes released from captivity along the roadside. So those prisoners exchanged get to see this as they get driven home. Kudos to the guy filming this who is actually sticking his head out the car window to film it. We're going up because we skipped. We already watched the Kinburn Sprit video. The Council of the European Union will hold a hearing regarding the potential loss of Hungary's voting rights at a meeting on May 27th. Article 7 of the EU Treaty allows for the suspension of Council voting rights if a member state consistently breaches EU founding principles. Wake up, Hungary, or you're going to get a Brexit of your own. Ukrainian Air Force fighter jets shoot down Russian kamikaze drone in the sky over Ukraine in the recent attack.
І самоліт знову його шукає. А де? Дві пустили ракету, збили. Да? Де паде? В'єбать. Молодець, блядь. Молодець, дивися, паде на копанки. Блядь, а що це вони збили?
So, remember the other day, if you watched me and Chungus on Chungus's channel, I was talking about the incident where, you know, a Russian missile was taken out over my head. This is pretty much what it looked like. This is only a Shahed drone, so not as big of a boom. I think the boom you hear is from the missile. So yeah, that's about what it looked like. It was there was a small explosion and then a bigger one behind it when the missile blew up. But you know, I had to stick my head out the window and look straight up to see what this from when I saw it. But yeah, that's what it looks like to have munitions taken out over your head. Two Russians tried to cut through some barbed wire. Hey, I made it. No, I didn't. Oh, okay, they blurred it, but still. Oh. We are working on a meeting between Zelensky and Putin. Document with Ukrainian proposals regarding the perimeters of an unconditional ceasefire is currently being prepared. So the Mi-8 that crashed in Russia, at the cost of their own lives, the crew did everything possible to ensure civilians were not hurt, at least in Russia. Russia is ready to hand over a draft agreement on ending the war immediately after the prisoner exchange is completed. Yeah, I wonder what crazy stipulations are going to be put on that agreement. EU is nearing a decision to include the Nord Stream 2 gas pipelines linking Germany and Russia in a fresh proposal of sanctions against Moscow. Good to know. Artillerymen. We covered that one already. Okay, that's a lot of reading. I'm going to skip that. Russia is deploying a military strategy known as the triple chokehold to grind down Ukrainian troops. Putin's forces are launching ground assaults to pin troops down, then dropping mines from drones and calling in strikes to restrict movement before glide bombs target defensive positions. Okay. MNS publishes what it claims are the first images of the crash site of the Mi-8 helicopter in Russia. I guess that could be rotors right there. The fuselage, the rotors, I guess it could be. I see a lot of wood, but not a lot of other stuff. Some drone on drone action. So this is what I wanted to come back for. We already looked at the drone. 270 prisoners were from the armed forces of Ukraine. 120 were civilians transferred to Ukraine as part of the exchange today. Ukraine has not officially announced the details. All the necessary procedures to set up the U.S. Ukrainian Reconstruction Fund is done. Russia launched 2 ballistic missiles at Odessa. 1 port worker was killed. 8 more civilian employees of the company were injured. 4 of them in serious condition. Already saw that one. Already saw that one. The moment of the Mi-8 helicopter crash. That is interesting. That looked like a rotor failure. So everything up and operating normal. They're going into a bank turn. And right there. Right there you see like a rotor. You know, everything's spinning like normal, and then you see like one of the rotors is not there anymore. Let's see what the other video sees. This is already after the crash. And no sound, so I don't think worth watching in my opinion. Already saw that bouncy video. Yeah, bullshit buffer zones. So let's do today's attack on Crimea, then go back to... I thought that was applause. That's ammunition cooking off.
О, летит! Летит! Летит, как твою раз! Да дай команду на! Ебать! Еще летит! Еще впереди вон! Сюда, сюда, сюда!
So enough of that. Let's get back down here. Large prisoner exchange will take place in several stages from today through the 25th. Don't need to look at that. And of course, coming back to the exchanges that were made today. And I can't wait to look forward for the other ones. There are some still images.
Слава Україні! Героям слава! Україна! Понад усе! Україна! Понад усе! Україна! Понад усе!
Yeah, no dental care while they're in captivity.
За домовленостями в Стамбулі ми домовилися повернути і обміняти 1000 на 1000. Сьогодні ми розпочинаємо цей процес разом зі всіма інституціями за дорученням президента, які дотичні до обміну і повернення, працювали як єдина команда і почали цей процес. Повертаємо цивільних, обмінюємо військових, чоловіків і жінок. Всі військовополонені будуть повернуті. Всі політичні в'язні будуть повернуті. Тому в цьому процесі зараз будемо працювати декілька днів. Прошу вашого розуміння і притримуватися тиші, доки працює команда.
Air alerts are all clear in Ukraine right now, thankfully. But, okay, I'm going to do this on the air alert map because it lets me draw. Or no, Deep State lets me draw. Okay. Russia wants Ukraine to give up these regions: Crimea, Kherson, Zaporizhia, Donetsk, and Luhansk. Then they're also saying they want a buffer zone basically all the way up through Sumy. So not only does Russia want Ukraine to give up areas that Russia does not occupy, they want an exclusion zone into Odessa, Melitopol, or Dnipro, Kharkiv, Sumy, Chernihiv. Sorry. And you know what's going to happen if this is what is agreed on for peace? 5 years down the road, 10 years, whatever, in the little bit of the area that is the buffer zone, Russia's going to hold a bogus referendum saying, oh, the people of Kharkiv in this little sliver of a buffer zone voted to become Russian. So now all of Kharkiv needs to become Russia. And then they're going to do the same to Sumy. So, this is Sumy. So they're going to basically do all the same thing over again in Kharkiv, Sumy, and Chernihiv. So, de facto giving up 3 other regions just down the road. fuck buffer zones, fuck Putin, fuck Trump. I hate this peace plan that they're trying to force on Ukraine. Well, it'll probably happen to Dnipro as well. So you might as well say this is what will become Russian in 10 years. If they go with this so-called peace plan with buffer zones. You know, can you imagine Ukraine agreeing to get reduced down to this? And Russia won't stop there because they get those areas and they'll want buffer zones in Poltava, in Kiev, in Kivnograd, in Mykolaievka, Odessa. And they'll just keep doing it until they get what they really want, which is all of Ukraine. So they can get in and take over Moldova and control this gap, the Presbyterian gap here. And intelligence companies have already reported that they have plans to attack Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania already written out, ready to go. Just needs to go, okay. That's the thing that's ridiculous about appeasing Russia. No, they don't, Michael. That's the thing. Do you think the referendums that were passed in Kherson, in Zaporizhia, Donetsk, and Luhansk were legal? They were sitting there holding up blank ballots going, yay, yay, yay. Those weren't real elections. But Russia has Kherson in Zaporizhia on their books now as part of Russia. They need to be given over to Russia. Russia doesn't need anything to be legal, to be done right. They just need to have an excuse. And yeah, if they get 10 kilometers into Dnipro, I guarantee you they'll have elections about joining Russia. And oh yes, 99.8% voted to join Russia. Even though 99.5% of the population lives outside of the area they control. Yeah, I mean, that's what Russia really wants. Now let me go to Google Maps. And it shows it much better because it shows terrain. Okay. And this is the bitch of the thing. Even if Russia takes complete control of Ukraine, Ukraine goes, okay, we're now the Ukrainian Soviet Socialist Republic again. Part of the Russian USSR or whatever the hell they want. That only gets Russia to right here. That leaves this huge gap between Ukraine and the Carpathian Mountains that NATO could run 100 tank divisions through and invade into Russia again. So Russia also wants this. They want to close this gap right here because a small army could hold this gap. much smaller than what's needed to hold that line. And of course, that includes Moldova and a fairly large chunk of Romania. The other part they want is this line up past Warsaw and out towards the the Baltic Sea. So they want a large portion of Poland because they can control this border. They can't control this border. And yes, that means Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, a quarter of Poland, and maybe a fifth of Romania that Russia wants to have their secure borders. This is when they talk about security and Russia needs to feel secure. Those are the borders they're talking about. Let's not forget that there was mumblings about retaking Alaska. Russia is still occupying the northern islands of Japan from World War II. Let's not forget that Russia is basically made a vassal state out of Kazakhstan, Belarus, Uzbekistan, and Turkmenistan. They're trying to make a vassal state out of Georgia, Azerbaijan, and Armenia. Actually, they're trying to let Azerbaijan and Armenia destroy each other so they can come in and play security cops and take the place over themselves, because they want to control this gap here. This gap here, the desert is almost impossible. Mountains here, up to the Mongolian gap here. Again, controlling this gap. And of course, over this to the other sea. That's what Russia wants. That's what Russia needs to feel secure. Russia needs to control about a third of the planet to feel secure, because they cannot, if an army gets past their borders, that's an army that knows how to move across land. Russia cannot do that. They need railroads. The Trans-Siberian Railroad, you'll notice that once you get off the Trans-Siberian Railroad, towns become pretty far and few in between. There is not enough income from these lands to warrant building infrastructure. They need the railroad. Just my 2 cents. I don't know. I've never really paid much attention to Mongolia. I know they're separate from Russia, but because Russians that were fleeing, being drafted into the special military operation, fled into Mongolia. But Kazakhstan is essentially a vassal state, along with many of the other stans. But yeah, it's funny. People don't think I'm talking out my ass, but yeah, this is what in this. Okay, it could just be my opinion, but you know, what border would you rather guard against? You know, if you're sit there and are paranoid like Russia is and think everybody's out to get you, would you rather have that border or this border? If everybody's out to get you, would you rather have this border or this border? It's what it is. What it is. Unfortunately, um, you know, Russia controls a very small part of Ukraine, and they're asking for almost double what they've invaded already. And we all know that that's just going to lead to them asking for more, asking for more, asking for more. Just like with World War II in Germany. You know, Hitler invaded, and they kept saying, no, 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 go, okay, you can have that, you can have that. And it wasn't until they invaded Poland with Russia that the UK finally said, okay, no, we're declaring war. And that's, yeah, appeasement just leads to greedy people wanting more. You know, it's like me coming to your house and saying, I want your porch. I'm going to take your porch. Okay, fine, you can have the porch. Well, living out here on the porch, I need bathroom rights. Give me your bathroom too. Oh, if I already have the bathroom, I might as well have the living room so I can, the living room, the porch, and the bathroom are all mine. Oh, I might as well have a bedroom too. Oh, why don't you just move out and I'll just take the whole house? That's what Russia's doing. That's what Germany was doing with appeasement. I can't have your porch? Oh, I almost forgot. Somebody said they'd buy me a house I could stay in 6 months out of the year in Venezia. So let's go. Dimbria. House. Me personally, I'd love to be off of this road in Venezia. So here we go. Oh, not enough acreage. Doesn't say how big the property is, but even has the bathroom already set up in the house. Yeah, it just doesn't say how big the land plot is. So let's go square plot area over 40. There you go, 17K. How would you like that view? Talking about fishing? I wouldn't mind having that for a backyard where the lake's right on your backyard. The barn. The chandelier. Yeah, nice pond on off your back lawn. Yeah, what's the point of having that for a video? I could sit there with a nice stump chair and sit on the edge with a fishing pole. I wouldn't care if I caught anything. I'd just enjoy it. And there's one option for you for 17. Let me know if you get it. Here's another option for 12. Pretty decent lot size. Ooh, I love the brickwork here. And there's the barn. Pretty decent sized kitchen. Need to put some countertops in there though. There's one hell of a backyard. That's a lot of gardening. That one's not too shabby. That's right there, almost on the border with Jotomir. This road goes from Venezia City up to Jotomir and then into Kiev. This is a really nice area. Over here is gorgeous. And right in the corner of 3 regions. $5,000. Nice brick house. Whitewash is good. The barn looks amazing. Well kept. So it looks like there's a secondary plot with the house. So here's the entryway into the house, like the porch, the entry room, storage room, kitchen, and then the bedroom. Not a big house, but you don't need a big house out in the country. Furniture and internet come with it. Summer kitchen, so even in another building outside. Barn, such and such. 2 grocery stores in the village. School, kindergarten. Not bad. And that house is right here. Okay. Did I close Google Maps? I guess I did. Oh, again, going from South Dakota, halfway across the world. No, that house is in this neighborhood here. So it looks like the old mill kind of burnt down. But nice stream running through the village. Let's make sure that's the right place. Presenti. Oh no, that's down here. Let's see, is there anything in this area? No. But, you know, right here, nestled in the corner. You know, the main highway's not that far away. That would be the main highway. um that'd be the plot that the house is on. Um so let's see. Right in this area. Okay, so to the west of the village. So it's one of these houses right here. So backing up to a small forest. And then looks like there's a bit of a river and a pond right in town. So you got your fishing not too far away. Let's see. What color was the roof on this? The normal color. So the house and then the barn. Give me a few more outside pictures. Um, 2676. Okay, so a quarter of a hectare for the house area, and then another quarter of a hectare for the garden. So yeah, the 48 Sotik. Let me go back to, unfortunately, Russian. 48 Sotik would be the total area altogether. But Google Maps. So barn out the window. Yeah, I think it might be this place right here. Let me see the other picture. Hmm. Okay, so facing the street, gabled end towards the street. No, it's not that one. Not that one. Gabled barn doesn't line up right. Oops. Okay, none of the ones on the bottom side have a gabled end towards the street. So I'm thinking it's this one here. So there you go. That would be the property right there. Well, there's what they call community land. So like this is your private land, only you have access to this. But then you could rent, like this is all state land here, and you can rent or buy an additional lot from the state to do more farming if you wanted to do that. But then like these areas here are communal areas. If you have a cow, your cow can go out here and munch all he wants all day long and then come back to your plot back here. This would be a communal area as well. The forests are communal. I'm guessing this is another communal area for livestock. Yeah, this would be another communal area for your horses or cows or whatever to exist on. That wouldn't be a bad one. And again, you're right in the corner of that place is right there. So you're not too far from Kiev, you're not too far from Zhytomyr, and you're not too far from Venetia. You're kind of like smack dab in the middle of the three. Go up to the highway, right to Bilothurska, and then up to Kiev or Venetia or Zhytomyr from the same highway. Not a bad area, like I said. Me personally, like when I first started looking, I was looking in this area for the majority. But after visiting Kiev and wanting to be close to Kiev, I started looking in the surrounding areas, and up in this area is where I've gravitated to since then. Here you go, 10K. Oh, never mind. That place has bad pictures, but oh well. Yeah, I don't know why they put like a red filter on that picture. Going in, cutting the grass, and tilling up the garden area. Nice big area. Oh, nice apple trees. Well, apple trees. Yeah, nice big yard. Gate needs a little bit of paint. It looks like it's been abandoned for a while. Books are all over the place. Oh, needs a little cleanup. And I'm not even sure what I'm looking at here. But yeah, it definitely needs a cleanup crew. Goats would do wonders for this property. Um, that's an interesting one. You know, this is right in the town, not too far from the road into Kiev. A little weathered, but the barn looks in good shape. Oh, the front gate needs a little TLC. Heck of a big roof for the outhouse. There you go. That's plenty big of a garden. Looks in decent shape. Oh, a lot of add-ons. You know, be pretty easy to convert one of these rooms into a bathroom. Not too shabby. Another nice area is it's pretty far away from Kiev, but come down here towards Kremachuk, and you get some really, really nice houses. You're paying more, obviously, but 25K, acre and a half in American acres. You know, balcony on the second story. Cool fence with a bench out front. I called sitting rights on that bench. I love the grapevine trellises over the like communal area outside the like underneath the grapevines becomes like your front porch. And there's the grapevines in leaf. So that would be your garage. Overall, looks in pretty good shape. You know, plenty of foliage to maintain privacy. Holy crap, a ton of outbuildings. Heck of a picture on the wall. Oh, even has a bathroom. Wouldn't have to add the bathroom in. Although that toilet's a little tight against the tub. Not bad. A little high for me, but you know, I'm a poor person. 20 kilometers outside of Kremachuk, 2 garages, 2 sheds, a cellar, a river 100 meters from the house. Yeah, Poltava is nice too, a nice area too. There you go. If you're broke like me, 3,500. Oh, how big was the plot? So 1.25 acres. Decent setup in the yard. You know, I'm guessing this is like the chicken run area over here next to the barn. There's your bathroom. Nice big room. The entryway with the cook stove. Guessing that's the storage area, the pantry. So the porch, the entryway, communal area, kitchen, bedroom, and big living room / bedroom. That's doable. With that, it's time to get close to ending the stream. Let's go. See if any challengers are out there for today. And we'll come back to that if anybody joins. Kharkiv and Sumy back under air alert. Drones in Sumy heading towards Kharkiv. Lily Dreamer, hi there, Miss Scammer. And while I'm waiting on that, let's check in with Madiar. Oh, he has a nice 10-minute long video for us. Let's check that out. And see if anybody decides to play me in checkers.
Там, де Мавік весільний, всевидящий наш коригувальник дістатися не може у міру його технічних характеристик, і ворог то знає, хробаки вештаються вільно і прямо посеред дня хочуть евакуювати систему РСЗВ «Град». Непоміченими залишитися їм не дає розвідкрило, і поки хробачня вошкається з зачепами, на перехоплення тої мерзкої корости вже летить жало птахів Мадяра з команди «Вормбастер». Хрена собі на якій швидкості та сцепка звалює. Ще 2-3 хвилинки і вискочуть з зони ураження. І тоді врятований град вже завтра. а може ще й сьогодні вночі повернеться на позиції і харкатиме усіма своїми 40 реактивними снарядами. А хуху не хо-хо, хробаки. План ваш стрійний, але у нас є свій. Водій помічає дрона, дригає кермом, але пездюль вже невідворотна. На-на! Як швидко розкладік змінився. Тягач горить обабіч, реактивна система залпового вогню перекинулася і ахуєтітельно підставила бачину під допрацюрен, перегородивши собою проїзд. Вормбастер ту нагоду не упустить, наступне жало вже тут. Ну та й вйо. Пада, сука, ай добре, градище. Запалав.
No bada boom, bada
Ще
suka.
трохи до розвідки. Норм. Та харкачка реактивних снарядів більше не придатна. А ви тепер, хробаки, ще шляхи евакуації почистіть. А ми на вас обов'язково тут початуємо. Тим часом хробачня буханцем кабріолетом доправила на позиції БК, кабанчики для міномета. Шустро звантажують, але очка птахів Мадяра все бачать. Ті кабанчики не мають полетіти у бік нашої піхоти. Ось тут вони їх безхитрісно під кущом складають, ну, щоб за півгодинки вже почати обстріл. Добре, буде вам фаєр-шоу. Дякую, птахи, пілоти мавіків, за гарне наведення. На фронті ті компоненти, очі та жало є нероздільними. Камера FPV навіть близько не розглядить того, що бачать пілоти-розвідники та коригувальники. Ось кабанчики. Правильно, по-совєтськи. Поряд з протитанковими мінами наскладали. Це називається польовий склад БК. Еть? Бадабум, мазафака! Ще раз.
Bada boom, motherfucker.
З'єбнуло файно. Буде хробачий мінометний розрахунок сьогодні смоктати одне одному, а не у інушку.
Okay, I'm going to pause this here. And I don't know who's playing, but let's play our little checker game for today. See if someone wins the checker heart. And I went here, they moved there. I went there, they moved here. Now it is my move. And we'll come back to Madiar after the checker game. You know, LJ's been wanting somebody to beat me at checkers for so bad. Whoever it is playing me, you got a fan for life if you win. Adam? Okay. Oh, don't forget you are being timed, so... So he has the jump here. And I'm going to jump him back. See if you let me into the corner. Okay, I'll take that corner. Mm. No, I don't want to move that one. That's a double jump. So let's go there, protect. When I go there, he's gonna jump me back. I can jump him and be safe. Okay. So I'm up 5 pieces. He's got 3 of mine. Yeah, I was afraid of that one. This is LJ giving tips. Oh, I was hoping you'd jump me. Idiot enforcers will call it a speech. Call what a speech? This might be a long game. Come on, you know you want to. Haha, he's trapped. Sorry, Adam. I'm gonna go back to trapping him. Let's work on trapping him. Good game, Adam. Okay. No winner of the Checkers Heart today. Sumy region, Poltava, Kharkiv, and Donetsk under air alerts. And let's get back to Maddie video. And
Бада-бум! Мазафака! Ще раз. Єбнуло файно. Буде хробачий мінометний розрахунок сьогодні смоктати одне одному, а не у інушку бавитися. Підарасішен.
yeah, I had to go back for the bada boom.
Ця короста десь пхне. Послідкуємо, зафіксуємо, запиздуємо. О, правильно, у ангарчик, куди ще сховатися. Від смуги далеченько, виглядає логічно та безпечно, але не для пілотів птахів на народному оптоволокні. Ви вже відрізняєте за якістю зображення, коли працюють козаки Клімчика на оптоволоконному FPV. Ніякої втрати радіогоризонту, впливу подавлення ребом чи картинки зі снігом. Усе чітко і деталюрен. Ось і загрильований тікач БМП. Можна не поспішати, прицілитись і єбнути. О, люки відкриті, супер. Дорозвідка вказує, що повторного вильоту не потрібно. Робочу техніку знищено.
They're just fumigating that building.
Ще одна беха гарцує селом на штурм. Ті лоти Вормбастер її мають зупинити. І заходять прямо у лоба. Беха від пездюля уражена. Вже не штурмує, але виглядає якось зовсім непокуйовдженою. Треба допрацювати, доки не евакуювали. Спішену піхоту тим часом вже ганяють інші екіпажі вармів. Але у цьому відео я йобликів показувати не буду. На те є просвітницький проєкт. Люк відкритий по класиці. Боф. Зовні. Чакабоні. Гарне влучання. Руйнівні процеси започатковано. Беха мала б бути повна БК, враховуючи характер дій. Тому слід трохи терпляче послідкувати. 3, 2, раз. Бадабум, мазафака! Ще раз. Фаєр! Добре,
We got 2 of
гепнуло.
them this video.
Відпрацьовано. Селенка піднялася, за деревами
Nice
лісу
barbecue.
не видно, але накат свіженький свідчить, що там щось є. На, яка стволіна стерчить. Саушку заховали. Мерзка самохідна гармата. Розвідка боєм. Що бачимо?
And a
Сау
self-propelled
прикурює.
artillery gun.
О, люк відкрито. Ну як не здійснити?
Oh, he found an open hatch.
Глибоке.
Let's see what it's like
Занурення.
inside.
О, димчик збільшується.
Smoky and flamey.
Ну та й до розвідка боєм. F-10 козаків Кліматим підтверджує знищення самохідної артилерійської.
Okay, I'll replay that one. It doesn't like.
Терчить. Саушку
Oh,
заховали.
it's back
Мерзка
further.
самохідна. Боф. Зовні. Чакабоні. Гарне влучання. Руйнівні процеси започатковано. Беха мала б бути повна БК, враховуючи характер дій. Тому слід трохи терпляче послідкувати. 3, 2, раз. Бадабум, мазафака! Ще раз. Фаєр! Добре гепнуло. Відпрацьовано.
No. The heat from that blast is so intense that it is steaming, pulling steam out of the ground around it.
Селенка піднялася, за деревами лісу не видно, але накат свіженький свідчить, що там щось є. На, яка стволіна стерчить. Саушку заховали. Мерзка самохідна гармата. Розвідка боєм.
So that first hit
Що бачимо? Сау
popped open.
прикурює. О, люк відкрито. Ну як не здійснити?
That door. Oh, look.
Глибоке.
Let me just go inside.
Занурення. О, димчик збільшується. Ну та й до розвідка боєм. F-10 козаків Кліматим підтверджує знищення самохідної артилерійської установки. Добре. Ще одна беха замаланилася на неприродньому рельєфі. Відпрацьовує її екіпаж бродяги, що недавно приєднався до родини птахів.
If these were strikes against people defending their home,
а значить високоточно не вдасться.
yeah, it would be bad to laugh. But these are people that are
До розвідка вказує,
coming
що
to Ukraine to
керування було
exterminate
вдалим. Беха повної
Ukrainians
БК.
on their
Важко влетіло
homeland.
на Сомалі. Таким чином,
Not bad
дрон
to
на
laugh.
беху розміняли за правильним курсом, комерційним. Десь 1 до 3 тисяч без зарахування знищеного БК. Бетер Хробачий у полі тупікнувся. Розвідку боєм. Пілоти Кліматим роблять. Піхоти не виявлено. Двері очинені. Йопчик!
He's probably just given highlights.
Не
I
горить.
doubt he
Бетер.
sits down and
Буває.
watches hours and
Бенз
hours of video
вже
every
горить.
day.
Поточна тактика застосування переорієнтована у птахах саме на живу силу ворога. Ну, але якщо піхоти не виявлено, FPV б'є у резервну ціль. І вдень, і вночі. Ну, а зраночку огарок. 1661 йоблик за травень, станом на вчора, 22 числа. Це 37% від загального об'єму уражених, знищених ворожих цілей птахами. Поки дам цифри, дивіться, як Острів нічним бомбером розбирає ще одну самохідну артилерійську коросту. САУ. Зараз він її спалить. 37% від загального об'єму. Переведу на зрозумілу. За 22 дні травня знищено, уражено 4437 унікальних цілей. Це по 200 у середньому щодобово. Вон іще один штурмує. На піздюль. З них йобликів 1661. Це і є 37%. Або простіше, 1661 ділимо на 22 доби. Виходить 75,5 йобликів щодоби травня. Цілимося на 100 йобликів у добу. План 3000 піхоти на місяць. Це
I think that pilot was trying to fly right down the barrel.
та відпрацювання оперативних цілей спостерігаєте. От так от. А оце оса ЗРК. Хробача зараз Кетмен на паузу її візьме. Пілоти Вормбастера її випасли в посадочці. Мерзка така штука. Збиває літаючі об'єкти. Дивіться, зараз її установку буде видно. Ну і Ворми її... О! Бачите на криші? Пиздавкнули. Ну, а це дорога смерті, відома вам. Ото все, що потрощено, то вже все в минулому.
Does this count as the road of death?
Інвалідних возиках
But you
катається.
see two supply carts that the Russians are using to supply their front lines.
З ПММ хробачим. Ну, не було хробаків, поховалися. То й треба було бити вже. Я в 10-й Кліматим вирішив ті бочки трошки підшмалити. Пец.
No more supplies.
Пада, сука, от то, блін, давануло. Скільки там було тих літрів.
And a second
Очевидно,
Bada
були ще
Suka.
якісь БК чи ще щось. Ну, от таким мілким сапом все, що рухається, зупиняється для того, що хробак
Oh, that's burning really well.
не міг реалізувати
Must have
свої
been ammo.
бойові задачі. Коротенький випуск, мушу бігти. Роботи овер. До хрена хробачня сьогодні в 16 чи в 17 там ТАСС уполномочен заявить, підарасішин, що вони там ліквідували сили 414-ї бригади десь на Донеччині. Куріть бамбук, підари, блядь. І ловіть прихід. Всім притомним, тихої та спокійної, очі та жало, хробачий жах. Честь.
See you next time, is what he said at the end there. And I'm going to back it up just a minute.
Зупиняється для того, що хробак не міг реалізувати свої бойові задачі. Коротенький
zoom
випуск,
out.
мушу бігти. Роботи
Oh, not that far back up.
до хрена.
Come on, reload. Maybe it load faster if I'm not in full screen. Okay, let's go back into full screen.
Таким
Play
мілким
it
сапом
and
все,
see if
що
I can pause it at
рухається,
the right time this time.
зупиняється для того, що хробак не міг реалізувати свої бойові задачі. Коротенький випуск.
Okay, almost the right time. But you see one vehicle, two vehicles, and then there was two others on the other side of the smoke we saw that early when they found the supplies. Another Russian vehicle, one next to that, another one here, and those are the ones that are visible. When they talk about the road of death, this is the key point, because they have to slow down to make this S curve, and you see the results.
Мушу бігти, роботи овер. До хрена хробачня сьогодні в 16.
Anyways, I am going to call the stream there. Thank you all for coming to the stream. Please remember to hit the like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and keep supporting Ukraine. I'll see you next time. Stay safe, everybody. Okay, Adam, but off screen. So, Adam, if you're still here and you still have that screen open, hit play again, and we can play again. Or should I just hit cancel and make a new link? There we go, play again. Okay, I'm going to play Adam one more time. Nothing official, so I'm going to close the stream. Again, thank you all for coming. Oh, okay, LJ, I'll let you watch. Let's go this way this time. I should actually slow down and pay more attention to what I'm actually doing. Like that, I missed that. Oh. Yeah, I can't believe I missed the double jump. I should have seen that and taken it. Mm. I like the mushroom cloud in Russia. Okay. Adam's trying to give me a run for my money. Yeah, you made the only mistake you made was moving this piece instead of this one back then, but all right, now you're trapped. Yeah, Trump is finished like this game is. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, no, I won't. I'll see you Sunday. Saturday's my day off. So, next chance at the Checkered Heart, it will be Sunday. See y'all next time. Have a good weekend.